DraftKings, he can be the difference. So trust your gut. Trust your numbers. Trust your Uncle Vito if you want. But know this, that sleeper is out there. The question is, who's going to play him? This is DraftKings. Welcome to the big time.
To create your account, click on the banner link on thedougstewartshow.com or the Doug Stewart Show app. There's a storm coming. A firestorm. Get ready to raise your game because watching sports will never be the same. Introducing FireFan. It's a game changer. Finally, a sports app that puts you into the game. You predict the scores, you call the plays in real time while you watch and compete against sports heroes, celebrities, friends, family, or other die-hard fans. The more you call it, the more points you can achieve. Also, be a loyal fan and earn loyalty rewards. Don't miss the hottest app of the year, FireFan. Ignite your passion. Yeah! Yes, sir. Yeah. Register now at firefan.com today. Enter player rewards code TDSS. That's player rewards TDSS. Play the game, fan the fire, earn rewards.
For the time. Come on, y'all, let's read this.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Feel like should be on some cardboard right now, cutting a windmill. Cut it in yellow. The realest sports and guy talk show in America, the Doug Stewart Show. Yeah. We're brought to you by firefan.com. Thank you for joining your boy. I really do appreciate it. This is a fantastic, freaky, funny Football Friday. Stewies, I got to keep remembering, man. I mean, there's thousands and thousands and thousands of people that listen to this show daily, man, and every once in a while, in particular the last couple of weeks, man, I shouldn't let a couple of Stewies spoil everybody's, fun, and they're not going to rain on our parade. All of these people nominated for Ball Penis this week, which is really tragic. Angry Black Man, once again, Bucci the Stewie, Mocha Bella, which I expect a whole lot more from Mocha Bella. But that's neither here nor there. Gregor the Stewie, I'm used to that. Tiffany Sports and Heel the Stewette, that really bothered me. That Ninja the Stewie, Jay Clyde, Big Apple Bastard, that's no big deal. I mean, it's really, so I got to remember, I'm not going to let one person, one Stewie, one Stewette ruin it for all of us. So we will move on. We'll persevere. We'll persevere through all of this. All right? You can call the show if you'd like, 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Firefan brings you the show. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit of college football, man. Yes, sir. The Funky Four. The four biggest games in college football this weekend, so says me. Coming in at number 4, man, it's number 2, Michigan. trying to get a little bit of revenge against Michigan State. Y'all know what happened last year. The memory of how Michigan State lost to Michigan last season is one that will never go away. Only 10 seconds away from winning the game, they watched punter Blake O'Neal bobble a snap and inexplicably fumble the ball into the arms of Michigan State's Jalen Watts Jackson, who returned it for a 38-yard touchdown. One of the craziest endings I've ever seen in my life. Michigan State is 2-5 right now, 0-4 in the Big Ten, struggling, having a down year. The Spartans have lost 5 consecutive games, including 4 by double digits. So they're struggling this year, to say the least. But Michigan, Jim Harbaugh got them boys playing. They're in the thick of a national championship hunt. So I want to see if they can keep it going. All right? Last year was his first year, so they had to work out a little kinks here and there. And I think they've done that for the most part, so we can see. We're going to see if Michigan can keep the train rolling as they take on Michigan State. Big Ten matchup. That's ESPN 12, noon on Saturday. How about game number 3 in this week's Funky Four? 4 biggest games, 4 most interesting games in college football. So says me. How about the Washington Huskies on the road taking on Utah? Now, I know a lot of y'all don't want to hear about Washington. I know y'all don't want to hear about Washington. But this is a big game. You know, I've been kind of singing the praises of Washington all year long, thinking that they're for real. You know, they're in a Power 5 conference, so they get leeway. If they, win out their games, they're probably going to get a spot in the playoff, the 4 playoff system that we have. So Washington taking on a tough Utah team, the unbeaten and 4th-ranked Washington Huskies, having their best ranking since the end of the 2000 season, heading into what probably is going to be their toughest match of the year as they go into Washington. They're coming off their 10th consecutive victory in a 41-17 win over Oregon State last week at Husky Stadium. The Huskies have defeated every opponent this season by at least 24 points. They've been kicking much ass, in other words. Browning, the quarterback for Washington, a sophomore, has completed 118 of 172 passes for 1,700 yards with 26 touchdowns and only 2 interceptions. The wide receivers John Ross and Dante Pettis last week became the first pair of Husky wideouts to go over 100 yards receiving in the same game since 2002. So in other words, they're clicking on all cylinders. Right? Utah is always tough. They've always been tough. Recently, over the last, I'll say 5 to 10 years, they play everybody real tough. So we'll see if Washington can keep it going this weekend. That's 3:30 p.m. kickoff on FS1. All right, so it's on FS1. So if you haven't seen Washington and you want to see what I'm talking about, the squad, it's on FS1. Most of us have FS1. Check them out at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Game number 2 in the Funky Four biggest games this weekend is the Louisville Cardinals on the road taking on Virginia. I know what you're saying. Virginia is horrible. But I just want to see Action Jackson continue to do his thing. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I'm just being honest. I want to see if he can keep doing his thing as he strides towards the Heisman Trophy. Lamar Jackson continued his Heisman Trophy quest with another big game last week. 355 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, and rushing for 76 yards in another big win against North Carolina State. All right? So, this week, Louisville's on the road, taking on a Virginia team that's struggling 2-5 at Virginia. This is a 12 p.m. Eastern Time kickoff. It's on ABC or ESPN 2. All right, so that's game number 2. And the biggest game this weekend in college football is none other than the Clemson Tigers, and you do pronounce Clemson with a Z. The Clemson Tigers taking on the Florida State Seminoles. Game number 1. Yeah. Primetime matchup, Saturday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time on ABC at Bobby Bowden Field at Doak Campbell Stadium in Tallahassee, Florida. The first time in his career as the Tigers tried to beat the Seminoles on their field. This is when Deshaun Watson first went down there a couple of years ago, but Florida State escaped with a 23-17 win in overtime. Once again, this was 2 years ago. So now they have another opportunity. Deshaun Watson says that he thinks they should have won that game back then, but they're going to make sure that they play well this weekend and they cross all of their T's and dot all of their I's. Florida State, it's not the Florida State that we expected, a team that's going to vie for a national championship, but they are Florida State. It is Tallahassee. Anything can happen. Clemson, number 3 team in the country, trying to make a run once again for a national championship after playing and losing in the game last year to the Alabama Crimson Tide. So this is 8 p.m. Eastern time, once again, prime time on ABC. There you have it, your Funky Four. Yes, sir. I guess I do need to mention that this weekend is the world's greatest cocktail party. At least that's what they used to call it down there in Florida, as the Florida Gators take on the Georgia Bulldogs. Florida's 5-1. Look out now. Florida's 5-1, number 14 in the country, taking on Georgia, who's struggling right now, 4-3. That's 3:30 p.m. Eastern time, kickoff on CBS. And then Georgia Tech taking on Duke. Tech 4-3, Duke 3-4. But Duke has been the giant killer. Came very close to beating Clemson, I believe. And they also went into Notre Dame and beat Notre Dame. So this is going to be an interesting game if you're a Georgia Tech fan. So there you have it, the Funky Four, biggest games in college football. Yeah. I tell you what, let's go to a break, man. We're right up against a break. Let's go to a break. When we get back from the break, it'll be hour number 2 of the Doug Stewart Show. And what we'll do is we'll read some chat. You got to get into the NFL Funky Four, the 4 biggest games in the NFL. So we'll do that at some point in hour number 2. We got entertainment coming up. We'll talk about a couple of stories out there, birthdays and all of that. Have some fun, and just try to, not let our day be dampened by a couple of Stewies that just are habitual line steppers. Yeah, you're not going to rain on my parade. Joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Down in my heart. Down in my heart. I got that joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Down in my heart. Down in. What is ID Life? Well, over the last 18 years, a group of scientists and doctors have been working on the development of a one-of-a-kind nutritional supplement program that takes all the guesswork out of what you need and delivers your truly personalized pharmaceutical-grade nutrition with your name on it directly to your door. Through the integration of thousands of medical and scientific studies, answers you provide to the free assessment, and more than 5,470 algorithms that process the data, ID Nutrition recommends what you need, leaves out what you don't, and blocks things known to the system to have possible adverse effects based on the answers you provide. The result is a program that is revolutionizing the health and wellness industry. Welcome to ID Life. For more information, just go to thedougstewartshow.idlife.com. That's thedougstewartshow.idlife.com. Do you have your own radio show? Are you an artist or a DJ? BB Mobile Apps is the solution for you. They specialize in creating mobile apps for entertainers. That's right. You can have your own mobile app where your followers can hear your shows or music, watch your videos, and view all your social networks in one place. You can even make money with banner ads and send push notifications directly to your audience to make sure they get your messages. Everyone has their phones on them, right? A mobile app will add credibility to your brand because your content will be accessible to them while they're on the go. BB Mobile Apps also makes apps for bloggers, actors, and producers. The process only takes about 20 minutes. Just go to bbmobileapps.com and click Get Started Now. That's bbmobileapps.com and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you. There's a storm coming. a firestorm. Get ready to raise your game because watching sports will never be the same. Introducing FireFan. It's a game changer. Finally, a sports app that puts you into the game. You predict the scores, you call the plays in real time while you watch and compete against sports heroes, celebrities, friends, family, or other die-hard fans. The more you call it, the more points you can achieve. Also, be a loyal fan and earn loyalty rewards. Don't miss the hottest app of the year, FireFan.